We are on the Serenity deck, and yes, we're in a clam.
We're in a clam.
We're actually doing a full ship tour on the Carnival Venezia. We'd like you to come along with us and check it out deck by deck. We're starting out on deck 0, working our way all the way up to deck 15. And if I can give you a little heads up about the Carnival Venezia, I love it. It's probably one of my favorite ships. What about you?
It's very nice. Very, very nice. The
That's
Italian
all you can
style.
say is it's very, very nice. Oh my God, every single deck is just mind-blowing to me. I love it. I love the decor. And you could just say,
Let's go.
let's go do the ship tour. Why don't you come along with us?
Carnival Venezia isn't your typical Carnival ship. Originally built for Costa Cruises, this massive Italian-themed ship officially joined the Carnival fleet in 2023 after a major transformation into what Carnival calls fun Italian style. Carnival Venezia is one of the larger ships in the Carnival fleet. She can carry about 4,090 guests at double occupancy and is operated by a crew of more than 1,400 people. The ship features 14 passenger-accessible decks filled with Italian-inspired restaurants, lounges, bars, entertainment venues, pools, outdoor spaces, and even a few easy-to-miss observation areas many guests may walk right past without ever realizing they're there. Along the way, we'll show you what food venues are included in your basic cruise fare, what costs extra, where the designated smoking areas are located, and some hidden areas you may want to check out for yourself. Now, let's start our Carnival Venezia full ship tour down on Deck 0.
Deck 0 is where you'll find the ship's medical center and the gangways used for embarking and debarking guests on port days.
Deck 0 is one of those decks most passengers may visit without really thinking about it. Depending on the port of call, Deck 0 is often used for embarkation, disembarkation, or getting on and off the ship during port days. So if you're heading out to explore, this may be the deck where your day begins. Deck 0 is also where you'll find the ship's medical center. Hopefully, it's one of those places you never need during your cruise, but it's definitely good to know where it is. Now that we've started at the lowest passenger accessible area, let's head up to Deck 1 and continue working our way up. As we move up from Deck 0, this is where we start getting into the passenger cabins. Decks 1 and 2 are both stateroom decks, so you won't find restaurants, bars, or big public venues down here. And one thing you'll notice on Carnival Venezia is the decor. Even in the cabin hallways, the ship keeps that Venice, Italy theme going, so it definitely feels different from what you might expect when you first step into a stateroom corridor. Now, most of the passenger cabins on Carnival Venezia are located on decks 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those are the main cabin decks, but there are also some cabins mixed into other decks, including decks 5, 10, 11, 12, and 14. Those decks are not just cabin decks, because they also have public venues, outdoor areas, pools, and other things going on. Now, here's something important to know, especially if you're on a longer sailing. Carnival Venezia does not have self-service laundry rooms. It does offer laundry service for a fee. In your room, you'll find a laundry form and a paper laundry bag. You fill out the form, place your laundry in the bag, and your room steward sends it out to the ship's laundry service. Once it's finished, it's usually delivered back to your room within about 24 to 48 hours.
Deck 3 centers around fun and food for all ages. Starting forward, we have Circle C and Club O2 teen clubs. Then in the Piazza San Marco, things liven up with the Atrium bar, Carnival adventures, and guest services. Just off the piazza is Marco Polo restaurant. And accessible from the aft stairs and elevators on both Deck 3 and 4 is the Canal Grand Restaurant.
Right up front on Deck 3, you'll find 2 of the teen spaces on board Carnival Venezia. This is where you'll find Circle C for ages 12 to 14, and Club O2 for ages 15 to 17. So if you're cruising with teens, this is definitely a spot you'll want to find early in the cruise. As we continue moving aft, we come to Carnival Adventures. This is where you can book shore excursions, ask questions about your ports of call, or get help figuring out what you already booked. And right across the way is guest services, the front desk of the ship. Room key issues, account questions, onboard concerns. This is where you go. But here's our quick pro tip. If you can avoid guest services on embarkation day, avoid it. If your question can wait until day 2 or later, you may save yourself a lot of standing around time.
Unless you absolutely have to go to guest services on the very first day.
Too long of a line.
Oh, it's always packed. And I don't even know what people are doing when they get on a cruise the very first thing and they go to guest services. And the lines are huge. So if you don't have to, wait for another day to go to guest services. That'd be my suggestion. You agree?
I agree.
All right, let's keep moving.
Just past guest services, we come into one of the most impressive areas on Carnival Venezia, Piazza, San Marco, and the Atrium. And this is where the ship really starts to feel different. This 3-story atrium is designed to feel like an Italian piazza, and when you stop and really look around, there are details everywhere. The walls have that lacy, Gothic look inspired by Venetian palazzi. The columns are beautiful, and right in the middle you have this huge replica of the column of San Marco watching over the space. Then you look up, and the ceiling has this painted sky mural that gives the whole piazza an open-air feeling, even though, of course, we're still inside a cruise ship. This is also a great place to grab a drink from the atrium bar. Drinks from the bar are an additional cost unless you have a drink package. Sit for a few minutes, listen to live music, and just take it all in. And honestly, this space gave us a totally different feeling than what we expected. It felt like a more upscale ship. The decor, the lighting, the Italian themed carnival really went all in here. Now, as we keep moving aft, we arrive at the Marco Polo restaurant. And yes, technically this is one of the main dining rooms, but we're calling it a restaurant because it really does not feel like a basic cruise ship dining room.
We're in the Marco Polo restaurant, and you know what I love about it? It feels like a restaurant.
It's almost like tiny little rooms here. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's not a banquet style.
It's not a huge room.
No, it really feels like a restaurant.
It's nice.
Yeah, let's keep moving.
The layout, the lighting, and the Italian-inspired design make it feel much more like a restaurant setting. And the best part? This is included in your basic cruise fare. So, if you're trying to figure out what food venues are included and what costs extra, Marco Polo is one of the included dining options here on Carnival Venezia. Continuing aft, we come to the Canal Grand Restaurant. And this may be one of the most memorable dining rooms we've seen on a Carnival ship. The name comes from Venice's famous Grand Canal, that main waterway that winds through the city in that big backward S shape. And when you walk into this room, you can see exactly what they were going for. The star of the space is the full-size Venetian gondola sitting right in the middle of the lower level. It's surrounded by striped mooring poles, Venetian-style streetlights, and reflective flooring that gives the feeling of water around the gondola. The walls have archways, moldings, columns, and building facades that make the room feel less like you're inside a ship and more like you're sitting outside along the canal in Venice. It's dramatic, it's detailed, and it really helps explain Carnival's whole fun Italian style concept.
Deck 4 continues with the ship's entertainment and activity spaces. Forward is the Teatro Rosso and bar, followed by Dream Studios, the Fun Shops, Cherry on Top, the Venezia Casino and the dedicated non-smoking casino, Heroes Tribute Bar, Park West Art Gallery, Limelight Lounge, and in the aft is the upper level of the Grand Canal Restaurant.
Right up front is the lower level of Teatro Rosso, and yes, the name fit. Rosso means red, and this theater leans all the way into that rich red, gold, and Venetian-style drama. You've got red velvet curtains, plush red and gold seating, dramatic lighting, and these large classical-style chandeliers overhead that give the space more of a European opera house feeling. At the back of the lower level, you'll also find the Rosso Bar, built right into the theater. And that's actually a smart design choice, because you don't have to leave the venue and miss part of a comedy show or playlist production just to grab a drink. Of course, drinks from the bar are an additional cost unless you have a drink package, but it's definitely convenient having the bar right inside the theater. Now, let's talk about this lower level seating. Access here is by ramp with no stairs, and unlike the upper level, this lower floor is almost completely flat. So depending on your mobility, this may be the easier level to access. But we do have to talk about a couple of design choices, and this is just our honest opinion after being in the space. There are some pretty large structural columns running through the theater, and depending on where you sit, they can seriously affect your view of the stage. If you're behind one of those pillars, or even sitting off center toward the back, you may find yourself doing the old lean left, lean right dance just to see what's happening. And because the lower level is mostly flat, the seats are not really tiered like a traditional theater. So even if you avoid a column, your view could still be blocked by the person sitting directly in front of you. So our tip for Teatro Rosso is simple: get there early. If there's a show, comedy act, or production you really want to see, don't stroll in at the last minute and expect a perfect seat. Give yourself time to pick a good spot with a clear line of sight. Now, moving aft from the theater, we come into the shopping area surrounding the outside of the atrium. Here you'll find the fun shops including portside liquor and tobacco, the Carnival store, cherry on top candy store, and Dream Studio. And as you move through this area, you also get some really nice views looking back into the atrium. You're not just walking through shops, you're still connected to that big Italian piazza feeling in the middle of the ship. Continuing aft, we enter the Venezia Casino. The main casino has both smoking and non-smoking areas with slot machines and table games. And just beyond that, there's also a separate casino annex that is exclusively for non-smoking gaming with more slots and a few table games. So if you enjoy the casino but prefer a non-smoking space, that annex is definitely worth finding. As we keep moving aft, we pass the Heroes Tribute Bar. This space is designed to honor and support veterans, and it also works as a sports bar on board. You've got big screen TVs, a full bar, and a comfortable place to sit back and watch a game. The venue itself is open to walk through and enjoy. But of course, if you order a drink here, that is an additional cost above the basic cruise fare. Just past that, we come across the Park West art area. Now, Venezia does not have a traditional art gallery showroom in the way some people might expect. Instead, you'll see artwork displayed along the main indoor promenade with the Park West office nearby. So as you're walking through this deck, the art is built right into the flow of the ship. Next up is the Limelight Lounge. And once you step inside the entrance, you'll probably notice the two life-size jester or harlequin figures. They're hard to miss, and honestly, they may be the most memorable design detail in this lounge. They tie right into that Venetian Carnival theme, and it gives the entrance a fun, theatrical feel before you even sit down. The Limelight Lounge is used throughout the cruise for punchline or comedy, along with other events and activities. So if comedy is on your must-do list, this is a venue you'll probably visit more than once. Continuing aft, we eventually come to the upper level of the Canal Grand restaurant. Now, this is still a nice space, and it continues the Italian design, but in our opinion, it doesn't quite have the same wow factor as the lower level on Deck 3. Up here, it feels a little more like a traditional cruise ship dining room, still attractive, still part of the included dining experience, but not quite as dramatic as what we saw below. And that wraps up Deck 4.
Deck 5 is packed with dinings, bars, shopping, and entertainment. Forward is the upper level of the Teatro Rosso, followed by the fun shops, beauty salon, piano bar 88, bonsai teppanyaki, Fahrenheit 555 steakhouse, Amari bar, bonsai sushi, and then continuing along the starboard side of the ship, the Sforzante bar, Il Viaggio, Pixels photo gallery, gondola lounge, empanada pie, La Strada grill, the Carnivale bar and lounge. And the aft is Terrazza Carnivale.
Now we're moving up to Deck 5. We're back inside Teatro Rosso, this time on the upper level. And just like we talked about on Deck 4, you still want to pay attention to where you sit in this theater. Those structural columns are still an issue up here too. The theater itself is beautiful with that deep red, gold, and Venetian style decor, but this is definitely one of those venues where the right seat can make a big difference. Step outside by Teatro Rosso, where you'll find one of those easy to miss outside observation areas. It's one of those spots many passengers may walk right past without realizing they can check it out. It's not a big flashy venue, but that's kind of what makes it fun. Get some fresh air, take in the forward views, and suddenly you feel like you've found a little secret part of the ship. Now continuing aft, we come into the shopping area around the Piazza San Marco Atrium. Here you'll find the San Marco shops including Hipfish, Cloud9 Full Beauty Salon, Effie Jewelry, and Front Street Watches. And before we go any farther on this deck, here's a quick note. Most of the bars, shops, photo areas, and specialty dining venues we're about to pass are not included in the basic cruise fare. So rather than say additional cost every 30 seconds, just know that if you're buying drinks, shopping, purchasing photos, or booking specialty dining, there will usually be an extra charge unless it's covered by a package or promotion. Now, even while you're walking through the shops, you still get these amazing views looking down into the Piazza San Marco Atrium. That's one of the things we really liked about this part of Venezia. You're not just walking through a shopping area, you're still connected to that big Italian piazza feeling in the middle of the ship. Right outside on the starboard side, this is also where you can access one of the designated smoking areas on board Carnival Venezia, located along the outside promenade. So if you're looking for it or if you're trying to avoid it, this is an important spot to know about. Now, continuing aft, we come to Piano Bar 88. This is one of those classic cruise ship venues where the room can be pretty quiet during the day, and then later on it turns into a fun sing-along, hangout, and cocktail spot. It's the kind of place where you may walk by early and think, oh, this is calm, and then come back later and the whole room has a completely different energy. Continuing aft, we start getting into some of the specialty dining venues. First up is Bonsai Teppanyaki, which is Carnival Venezia's hibachi-style specialty dining experience. This is where the meal is part dinner and part show, with the chef cooking right in front of you. Right across the way is Bonsai Sushi, with sushi, rolls, sashimi, and other Japanese-inspired options. And nearby is Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse, Carnival Specialty Steakhouse. This is the place for steaks, seafood, appetizers, desserts, and a quieter sit-down dinner experience if you're looking for something a little more elevated one night. As we continue aft, we come to the Amari Bar. This is another beautifully themed area, and it fits right into the more polished, Italian-inspired feel of this deck. Moving along, we pass the Carnival Shopping Insider Desk. This is where you can get shopping information, port shopping tips, and details about onboard retail promotions. Continuing aft, we reach Frizzante Bar. Frizzante has that sparkling Italian-inspired feel to it, and it's another nice spot where you can grab a drink, sit for a bit, and take in the atmosphere. Next up is Il Viaggio, one of the specialty restaurants on board Carnival Venezia. And this one really leans into the Italian theme. The name means the journey, and the restaurant is designed around regional Italian flavors and a more elevated dining experience. As we keep moving aft, we come to Pixel's Photo Gallery. This is where you can view and purchase your onboard photos. You know, all those pictures from embarkation, formal night, port days, and the ship photographers who somehow always find you when you're not ready. Just outside along the outdoor promenade, you'll also find La Strada Grill, serving barbecue-inspired dishes in a more open-air setting. It's a nice little spot to know about because it gives you another food option while still keeping you connected to that outdoor promenade feel.
We just finished lunch. What did you think? That La Strada Grill.
It was okay.
It was okay. I mean,
I'm not my favorite barbecue. I've had better barbecue on Carnival ships.
yeah, I wasn't like, oh my God, this is horrible.
We ate it.
It was okay. It filled the hole. Let's keep working on our ship tour, all right?
Let's go.
Let's go.
As we head back inside, we come to the Gondola Lounge and Bar. This space continues the Venice theme and is used throughout the cruise for live music, trivia, and other events. It's one of those lounges that can feel completely different depending on when you walk through quiet during the day, and then much more lively when something is scheduled. And tucked away in the corner near the Gondola Lounge and Bar, we also found Empanada. This is one of those little spots that's easy to miss if you're just walking through Deck 5, but it's worth pointing out because it gives you another quick food option in this area. The menu here features different empanada style options. Just keep in mind, empanada is not included in your basic cruise fare, so if you order here, it is an additional cost. So as you're near the Gondola Lounge and Bar, keep an eye out for empanada tucked into the corner. Continuing aft, we reach the Carnival Bar and Lounge. Hey Andrea, you know where we are?
We're in the Carnival Bar and Lounge.
And you know what you saw on the menu here?
I do. A screwball espresso martini.
You know Screwball is a peanut butter whiskey, right?
I do.
Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah, it does.
Coffee and peanut butter? Let's get one.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go get one.
This venue keeps the Italian theme going with drinks like Italian-inspired Bellinas and espresso martinis. And our favorite here was the Screwball Espresso Tini made with Screwball peanut butter flavored whiskey. That one was definitely a fun surprise. As we keep moving aft, we finally reach Terrazza Carnival. This is an exclusive outdoor area for guests staying in Terrazza staterooms, so wristband access is required. It is not a fully open public area for everyone on board, but if you are booked in one of those Terrazza cabins, this is one of the special spaces connected to that experience. And that wraps up Deck 5. Now we're moving up to Decks 6 and 7, and both of these decks are primarily passenger cabin decks. But Carnival Venezia does have a little surprise tucked all the way forward. At the very front of both Deck 6 and Deck 7, there are easy-to-miss outside observation decks, and after this video, they may not be so secret anymore. Access can always depend on weather, wind, or ship conditions, so if the doors are closed or marked off, definitely respect that. But if they're open during your cruise, these are great little hidden spots to check out.
Oh yeah, this observation deck's 5, 6, and 7. And then you hit the bridge. Look behind me. That's the bridge. I'm going to show you where we are. We're on Deck 7 right now. And there's the crew area at the very front of the ship.
Now we're moving through Decks 8 and 9, which are mostly passenger cabin decks. We do have a full cabin tour and review of our inside cabin, room 8285. But before we leave this area, there is one hidden spot worth showing. All the way forward on Deck 9, there's a secret forward-facing observation deck. It's easy to miss because it feels like you're just walking through a normal stateroom hallway, and then suddenly, if the door is open, you're outside at the very front of the ship. No bar, no pool, no big sign, just a quiet forward view and a fun little cruise ship discovery. Access can depend on weather or ship conditions, so if it's closed, respect that.
Deck 10 is where you'll find some great food options and pools. Starting midship is the Lido pool, and surrounding it is Rococo, Java Blue Cafe, Tomodoro, and Guy's Burger Joint. Heading inside, you'll find Swirl's Ice Cream and the Lido Marketplace, and in the aft you'll find the deli. Then just outside, in the aft you have Pizzeria del Capitano, the Seafood Shack, and the Burano Pool.
Now we're moving up to Deck 10. We're starting all the way forward with another secret observation area. On Deck 10, this forward-facing observation deck is accessed from the starboard side. Again, this is one of those spots that doesn't really announce itself. You have to know where to look, and after this video, maybe it won't be quite so secret anymore. If the door is open and conditions allow, this is a great place to step outside, get some fresh air, and enjoy a forward view from the ship before heading back into the busier public area. So we're picking things up where Deck 10 opens into the main outdoor Lido area. Before we start, here's the quick cost note for this deck. Guy's Burger Joint, Tomodoro, Swirls, Lido Marketplace, Carnival Deli, and Pizzeria del Capitano are included in your basic cruise fare. Specialty coffee at Java Blue Cafe, drinks from the bars, and food from Seafood Shack are extra unless covered by a package or promotion. Right outside we have the main pool, which is one of the busiest outdoor areas on the ship. This is where you'll find loungers, pool activity, music, and the big screen used for entertainment and dive-in movies during the cruise. Near the pool is the Rocco Bar, along with Java Blue Cafe for specialty coffee, and Swirls for soft serve ice cream. Also here on the Lido deck are two popular included food spots. Tomodoro is where you can grab tacos, burritos, and bowls, and Guy's Burger Joint. While Guy's Burger Joint is the spot for burgers, fries, and all the toppings. As we continue moving aft, we reach the Lido Marketplace, which is the main buffet on board Carnival Venezia. This is where you'll find breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, drinks, and a rotating variety of buffet options throughout the day. And tucked inside the Lido Marketplace area, this is a great included option when you want something made a little more to order, like sandwiches, wraps, melts, or deli-style favorites. It's one of those spots that can come in handy when you don't want a full buffet plate. Continuing aft, we come to Pizzeria del Capitano, which is a casual pizza spot with options like pepperoni, mushroom, 4-cheese, and prosciutto-style pizzas. Right across the way is Seafood Shack, where the menu can include items like lobster rolls, fish and chips, fried shrimp, and peel and eat shrimp. And finally, all the way aft, we reach the Burano Pool and Bar. This gives Deck 10 a second pool area toward the back of the ship, and it has a different feel from the main Lido pool. You've got outdoor seating, pool access, food nearby, and the Burano Bar right there if you want to grab a drink. So if the main Lido area feels too crowded, it's worth walking all the way aft to see if this area works better for you. And that wraps up Deck 10, the Lido deck.
Deck 11 is the upper, covered outdoor deck surrounding the Lido pool and includes the Carnival Seaside Theater and the Pergola Bar. Heading inside, you'll find Camp Ocean and Dr. Seuss Bookville. Then back outside in the aft, you'll have the sports court and plenty of open deck space.
Now we're moving up to Deck 11, and once again, we're starting all the way forward. At the very front of Deck 11, there is another secret forward-facing observation deck, and this one is accessed from the starboard side. Just like the other hidden observation areas, this is one of those places many passengers may never find unless they go looking for it. It feels tucked away, but if the door is open and conditions are safe, it gives you another great forward view from Carnival Venezia. And again, if the door is closed, locked, or marked off because of weather or ship conditions, definitely respect that. As we move aft, we come to the Pergola Bar area, along with some open seating that overlooks the big screen and the pool area below. This is a nice spot if you want to be close to the action, but not necessarily right in the middle of the main Lido crowd. You can sit up here, look down over the pool deck, catch some of the music or activities, and still feel connected to everything happening below. And around this area, you'll also find some fun casual games, including a bocce ball court, ping pong tables, a large Chinese checkers table, and foosball tables. So this is one of those areas where you might walk by thinking it's just extra seating, but there's actually a little more going on up here. As we keep moving aft, we come to Dr. Seuss Bookville and Camp Ocean. This is the main kids area for younger cruisers, and it's definitely worth knowing about if you're sailing with children or grandchildren. Camp Ocean is broken into different age groups, including sharks for ages 9 to 11, stingrays for ages 6 to 8, penguins for ages 2 to 5, and turtles for ages 0 to 1. And Dr. Seuss Bookville adds that bright, colorful family space tied into Carnival's Seuss at Sea program. It's fun, playful, and gives kids a dedicated area that feels completely different from the rest of the ship. Continuing aft, we come to one of Carnival Venezia's designated smoking areas. This one is on the starboard side and is listed as a cigar smoking area, so if you're looking for it or trying to avoid it, this is a good location to remember. Right beside this area, you'll find the sports court, giving this part of the ship a more active outdoor feel. And as we continue all the way aft, Deck 11 ends with seating and loungers overlooking the ship's wake. This is one of those simple but beautiful cruise ship views. No big production, no fancy venue, just a quiet place to look back at where the ship has been and enjoy that classic wake view. And that wraps up Deck 11.
Deck 12 is all about recreation and wellness. Starting forward is the fitness center and the Cloud 9 Spa. Moving outside, you'll find Carnival Waterworks. And then continuing aft, you'll find mini golf and the sports square. And then just inside in this area, the warehouse arcade. But back outside, the jogging track surrounds much of this sports area. And finally, you'll find the outdoor fitness area in the aft. And just above the fun on Deck 12 is the ropes course on Deck 14.
Now we're moving up to Deck 12, starting forward and working our way aft. At the very front of the ship, Deck 12 is home to the fitness center and Cloud 9 Spa, along with a small mix of passenger cabins. The fitness center is where you'll find workout equipment, cardio machines, weights, and those great forward-facing views while you exercise. And honestly, if you're going to work out on a cruise ship, having an ocean view definitely makes it feel a little less painful. If you find these ship tours helpful and want to support Hubbards Journey, we're not paid by the cruise lines, hotels, or companies we feature. We create these videos to help fellow travelers with real travel experiences and hopefully a little fun along the way. You can become a channel member and help keep the journey going. You can also buy us a coffee or a drink using the links in the description. Thank you for being part of the Hubbards Journey crew. Cloud 9 Spa, where you can book spa treatments and services for an additional cost. Just keep in mind, on Carnival Venezia, this spa does not have a thermal suite and the salon services are not located here on Deck 12. As we continue moving aft, we come to Carnival Waterworks. This is the main water slide and splash area on board Carnival Venezia, and it's definitely one of the more family-friendly outdoor spots on the ship. You've got the water slides, water features, and that open deck fun that can get pretty popular on warm sea days. Continuing aft, we come across the walking and jogging track, along with loungers and open deck space. This is a nice area if you want to get some steps in, walk off a big lunch, or just find an outdoor spot away from the main Lido deck crowd. As we keep moving aft, we reach the warehouse arcade. The arcade is an extra cost area if you play the games, but mini golf and cornhole are casual outdoor activities that are easy to jump into without making a big plan.
What'd you think of my cornhole?
I'm not that great at cornhole.
But it's fun to play. Why don't you go play some golf, Andrew?
I'm gonna go with my favorite color, purple. And a pink ball, because I'm a girl. Why not? be a hole in 5.
And finally, continuing aft, we come to the outdoor fitness equipment. And that wraps up deck 12. Now let's keep moving up to deck 14, where we'll find even more upper deck outdoor activity space on board Carnival Venezia. Now we're moving up from deck 12 to deck 14, and yes, if you're looking at the deck numbers, Carnival Venezia skips deck 13. At the front of the ship, deck 14 is mostly passenger cabin, so we're going to keep moving till midship. As we move toward the middle of the ship, this is where you'll find the ropes course. This is one of those upper deck activities that gives you a totally different view of the ship. You're up above the outdoor decks, clipped into the course, working your way across the different obstacles, and depending on how brave you're feeling, maybe trying not to look down too much. Also up here, you'll find the continuation of the mini golf course from deck 12. So if you're playing around, just know the course isn't all in one flat section. Part of it continues up here on deck 14. It's a fun little area because it gives this part of the ship a more active outdoor feel without being as busy as the main Lido deck. So deck 14 is a smaller stop on the tour, but it's still worth knowing about, especially if you're looking for the ropes course, finishing up mini golf, or just exploring the upper outdoor areas of Carnival Venezia. Now let's keep moving up to deck 15, where we'll reach one of the highest passenger areas on the ship and check out the adults-only Serenity Retreat.
At the very top of the ship on deck 15 is the Serenity Adults-Only Retreat, a quiet space reserved for guests 21 and older.
Now we're moving up to deck 15, and this brings us to one of the highest passenger accessible areas on Carnival Venezia. At the very front of the ship, you'll find the Serenity Adult-Only Retreat. This is the quieter, adults-only area on board, and it has a completely different feel from the main deck. Instead of pool games, music, and the busy family energy, this area is more about relaxing, lounging, and getting a little peace and quiet. Up here, you'll find plenty of loungers, cabanas, and those covered half-shell loungers spread throughout the space. There are also 2 hot tubs here, which makes this a nice spot if you want to relax with a view without being right in the middle of the main pool area. And of course, you also have the Serenity Bar right here on deck 15. So if you want to grab a drink while you're relaxing, you don't have to go far. Drinks from the bar are an additional cost unless they're covered by your drink package. Because Serenity sits high and forward on the ship, it feels a little removed from the busiest pool areas, which gives it more of a quiet retreat feeling. You're still outdoors, still getting those ocean views, but it feels separated from the louder parts of the ship. So if you're looking for a quieter place to relax during the day, Serenity is definitely worth checking out early because those loungers and cabanas can fill up fast on nice sea days.
We are at the end of our full ship tour on the Carnival Venezia.
Thanks for coming along with us, and as always, please subscribe to our channel. And remember, we're not paid by the cruise lines. This is all our opinion, and we do it just for you,
The viewer, and especially our members. So if you're looking to support Hubbards' journey, become a member or buy us a coffee. We really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit that subscribe button. This is where I say ciao for now.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching, but there's more to explore,
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
so you never miss any adventures.
Click on one of these videos to keep the journey going.
And this is where I say ciao for now.
We'll see you soon.